Well, week one is in the books. Football is back. I'd like to be in a bit of a better mood about it all, but, you know, certain things worked out the way that they did. It is what it is. But a lot of interesting things that definitely took place over the weekend. Really, really wild stuff, I gotta say. Starting with the fact that we've got not one, but at least two different season ending injuries that I really didn't quite anticipate happening as abruptly as they did, especially when it comes to the latter one. But it's wild because both of those games had those respective teams win. First one was the Ravens losing J.K. Dobbins to a season-ending, I think it was a knee or an Achilles injury. I'd have to look at that again, but the Ravens found a way to close out the Texans on Sunday, as did the Jets last night when Aaron Rodgers went out after his fourth play as a member of the New York Jets to an actual season ending Achilles injury, which I gotta say is pretty wild. I did see the highlights. Certainly some of the nastiest shit I've seen in a long time, but it's just really wild because so much went into it. Of course, yesterday being 9/11, what is it, the 22nd anniversary actually. And then, of course, you had just all the hype going into it, whether it was Hard Knocks or just everything from just how Rodgers to the Jets had materialized, his dark retreats, all of that stuff. I mean, one way or another, it certainly seemed pretty dark for the Jets early in the game last night, and I guess for the most part, the game seemed that way for a while. Only Josh Allen wound up doing the wrong kind of Josh Allen type of things. Now, I'm not really going to say any of this is indicative of how either side's season is going to go. There was a lot of talk, of course, about Josh Allen having made changes. He's not going to try to get balls into wherever spaces that he shouldn't be trying or whatever. I mean, one way or another, as long as they're not reliant on him so much in terms of running the ball, I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. I think James Cook definitely ought to help with that. Um, I believe Naheem Himes is there. They had another pickup that I just can't seem to remember off the top of my head right now. But regardless, I am inclined to believe that, you know, a lot of what we saw from this weekend isn't necessarily going to tell the tale. I mean, let's face it, the Chiefs lost to the Lions at home on their home opener with the banner ceremony and all that. I mean, I struggle to believe that that's going to be anything remotely indicative of what the Chiefs season is going to look like. It turns out they actually, Chris Jones actually ended his holdout with the Chiefs and will be looking to join back up with them this week. I'm not real sure on all of the details, but I imagine at the very least, if they're not paying him what he wants, he's probably going to agree to play, and they're going to really rework his contract later on at the end of the season. Again, I don't know any of the details of that. I just know that that's going to be the first aspect of where things are going to be absolutely different, especially defensively, because he's their anchor. He's almost their everything, especially in terms of pass rush, stopping the run, and just being an overall monster on the defensive end of the ball. Now, all that being said, of course, that doesn't mean Detroit isn't going to continue to make noise. I would expect them to continue to do big things because now expectations are a bit up there because they beat the Chiefs. So you got to figure maybe they'll really start making their mark in terms of being able to win the division. Although I have a feeling it seems Jordan Love may have something to say about that. He certainly had plenty to say in Chicago, where I gotta say I'm a little bit disappointed. I actually expected Chicago to be a sleeper, although maybe that still could be the case. Again, it's week one. But really and truly, I don't think that we saw a whole lot of what we can expect. I mean, the Browns certainly look good. Deshaun Watson certainly seems to be in midseason form already. Lamar is still doing Lamar things. And then, of course, they're going to have other pieces that'll step up with Dobbins being out. I would have to say one interesting focal point, and this is also going to be personally, is the Washington Commanders. They've actually held on to win their game hosting the Arizona Cardinals. That was 20-16, and it seemed like Arizona was actually going to give them problems for a bit because they actually forced a strip six some point early in the first half, I believe. I'm not real sure, but the real, excuse me, I think wild card in all of this is going to be Josh Dobbs. Is he going to actually be serviceable in the ways that he was for Tennessee last season, which I got to say, I actually wanted the Broncos to look at him because I felt like he would certainly be a good backup, maybe even develop him into a starter or maybe even a bridge player for somebody down the road who might be looking to go a different route with their QB situation. I mean, it really just depends, but all in all, I gotta say, and then of course the Giants got trounced by the Cowboys and so on and so forth. That's really not worth talking about, but either way, week one has told us a lot about what to expect, but also what not to expect as well. And I honestly have to be inclined to believe that one way or another, I don't think we're going to really have any grasp on what we should believe as far as who the favorites actually are until about weeks 5 or 6, because week one was actually pretty weird. I got a feeling the rest of the season is just going to be like that. I mean, you got Peyton over here going for onside kicks right off the rip, and yeah, that turned out the way that it did. But all the same, I feel like it's just enjoyable to have football back. I certainly was enjoying watching the Colorado Buffaloes the last couple of weeks, something I haven't really done a whole lot of really in a long time. Certainly not this regularly, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to this video. Is I'm just happy football is back, and may the best be yet to come. Hopefully there aren't any more tragically season altering injuries that take place, much like last night and much like on Sunday. I'm sure there are other ones that could wind up proving to be true in that regard, but nonetheless, what was the best part of week one for you guys? Let me know what you guys think. Drop it down below. You know what it is. I'll get at y'all.